What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Barbados Walker. I'm your host, Andrew. In this video, I'm directing it specifically, more directly to people who are not currently living in Barbados, people who are thinking about moving to Barbados. And right now, we are in Ridge Meadows. So the houses you're seeing here are in Ridge Meadows. I came here, I looked around to see what they're doing, how they're developing it. These are the places that have already been sold. At the back of Ridge Meadows, there are houses still being built. People are still buying. So if you want me to explore this area, tell you, about the area, what kind of houses you have here, the proximity to different places in Barbados, you can let me know. I'm going to make a video specifically on that. But anyway, we are going to be driving from this area and we will pass through Edie Village. We'll go through Boarded Hall, go through Sky Mall, get on the Errol Barrow Highway, and we'll keep going towards Warrens and Welch's and so on and so forth. So as we are going, I'm going to mention the different areas that we are going through. Again, if you want me to make videos on real estate, because I know some of you were asking me about places to rent and stuff like that, and we did put that into consideration when I wrote the book Move to Barbados. By the way, more on that later, the book Move to Barbados. So if you're interested in all of that, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to make dedicated videos about that. But in this video specifically, I want to talk about the four kinds of people that generally make the move to Barbados. 4 kinds of people that travel to Barbados, and then some of them are going to decide to make Barbados more of their long-term home eventually. So number 1, which I think is the most common kind of people that come to Barbados, or common kind of person that is interested in coming to Barbados, are tourists. Especially now that we have a direct flight from Africa. We have that Air Peace flight that was in the works for a couple of months or even years, and then recently they were able to do a flight that comes directly from Lagos to Barbados. So that opens up direct flights from the Caribbean region to Africa and direct flights from Africa to the Caribbean region. Before that flight, generally, if you want to come from Africa to somewhere in the Caribbean or Barbados specifically, you would have to either go through Brazil and then Panama before coming here, or you would have to go towards UK, to the United Kingdom, and then you would be able to get to Caribbean. Now, that became a very serious problem recently when places like Brazil and UK and US, another route is through the US and Canada. Places like that started denying a lot of people visas. So that became a problem because you would have people who are coming to Barbados for something very important, like maybe they want to come here for schooling or for work or to visit family members or whatever, and they just cannot come because even though Barbados gives them visa, or they're able to come to Barbados visa free, UK is going to block them, or US is going to block them, especially recently with all the Donald Trump stuff that has been happening in the US. US has been blocking a lot of people. So there are people who actually got admission in Barbados. I read about many cases, I even know one of them personally. People who actually got admission to study medicine in Barbados. Barbados processed everything. They had their school fees, they had their accommodation figured out and everything, and just to get here was a huge problem. And many of them had to defer their admission and figure out another way to get here. So with this direct flights from Africa, we expect to see that there are more people who are going to be coming from there. The biggest group is going to be tourists, because there is a group of tourists that I like to classify as the island beach vibes tourists. The island beach vibes tourists. You find these people if we're using this direct flight, for example, from Nigeria, you find these people in Lekki, Banana Island, in Lagos, Nigeria, right? They like that tropical island beach life vibe. And for the longest time, whenever these people wanted to go traveling or wanted to go, do touristy adventures around the world, they would usually go to places like Ibiza, Spain, or Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. right? They'll usually go to these places because these places have similar vibes to what they're looking for. So they might have considered like places like South Africa in the past, but recently, because of all the xenophobia and racism going on in South Africa, there are so many people who don't want to. In fact, if you've been following the news in South Africa, you know it's really bad. So nobody is going to be thinking about tourism in South Africa for a very long time. And then there are other places that might have been good because of the weather and because of the beach life and the nightlife and everything. But when you consider that some of these places either have political unrest or economic instability, or maybe there is a war going on there, tourists don't like going to places where they have significant disadvantage, or their quality of life isn't as great as they would want it to be. By the way, in the video right now, if you're watching the video, we are driving towards Sky Mall, and I just noticed that this video is one of the cloudiest, if not the cloudiest video that I've ever posted on this channel. And that is because we are currently entering the rainy season. So rainy season in Barbados starts from about June, July, and extends all the way to November. So you have the rainiest months being September, October, November, right? Around that period, that's when you have the rainiest period in Barbados. It rains practically every day during those months, right? So now you're just going to see, if you're coming to Barbados now, it's just mostly going to be cloudy on many days, and you're going to have some rain some days. And unfortunately for people like me that work online, it also affects the internet, the Wi-Fi sometimes. So that's why you're seeing all this cloud here, is because we are entering the rainy season. But because Barbados is still one of those paradise beach destinations, there is also sunlight. Like even though you have clouds like this, eventually you just have bright sunlight out of nowhere, and I love that about Barbados. But it gets worse towards September, October, November. I think I'm just complaining too much because I like the sun so much and I hate rainy season. I absolutely detest rainy season. There are people that say, oh, rainy season is weather for two, it's great for agriculture, I just hate it. I don't care about all the benefits of the rain. I just hate rainy season. I love the sun. If you hate the sun, we can't be friends. This is my official statement. I love the sun. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So we are currently at Sky Mall. If you look to the right where we are right now, to the right, that's Sky Mall. This whole big stuff here where all the cars are parked. Inside there is Sky Mall. And when you look ahead of you, we are going to get to a roundabout now where you see the statue Bossa. The Bossa man is actually a national hero in Barbados. I've never made a video talking about the national heroes of Barbados. And when you read their story, especially this man right here on this statue, when you read his story, you feel like you haven't done anything in life. Like you feel you haven't accomplished anything if you read what this man accomplished in his life. So that is something that you can research. I think I will also make a video about it because it's really impressive what many of these people that are, if not all, I've not read about all of them, but the ones I've read, what they accomplished was fantastic. Okay, back to what I was saying about the tourists. So tourists usually like places that are stable, economically stable. There is no war going on. There is no xenophobia, no racism, no anything like that. And Barbados is perfect. That is why when you come to Barbados, you will see that Barbados has people from so many different countries. There are people from Haiti, there are people from Singapore, there are people from the UK, from Canada, from Australia, from Nigeria, from Kenya, from Uganda. There are so many different people from different countries. In fact, if you step out of your house and you go to Bridgetown and you just ask like the first 10 people you see there, where are you from? At least one of them is going to tell you he's from a different country. And my tailor is not from Barbados. I've met taxi drivers that are not from Barbados. People that have restaurant businesses, not from Barbados. So Barbados is the kind of place where many people can come in here and create a life for themselves. They can have a business, create a life, add to the economy of the country, and so on and so forth, which is great, which is why people love it. For those same reasons, why tourists love it, because Barbados is so used to foreigners, because Barbados has this big hospitality industry, like huge hospitality industry. Most people are used to seeing foreigners. Most people are used to interacting and doing business with foreigners. When tourists come here, it's very, very easy for them to do normal touristy activities. Like, you don't have to figure out some obscure local customs and laws and whatever. Barbados is relatively easy to navigate as a tourist, as a foreigner. And that is why many people love it. So I expect that the most popular group that will be coming to Barbados will be tourists, especially as Barbados is increasing its connectivity, is doing more deals with more countries and talking to different people and doing connecting flights. For example, now this one with Africa now, I expect that there will be more people that will be coming and spending some time in Barbados, boosting the economy. As we saw right after COVID, when Barbados opened back, there was a very huge spike in tourism, and I just expect that to keep growing. The second group are actually students. Now, many people don't know this, but Barbados has really good medical schools, and Barbados has really good medical sector, right? And because of that, a lot of people come to Barbados because you can expect to learn a lot as a medical student or as a nursing student in Barbados. And even after you graduate, Barbados is also looking for a lot of doctors and a lot of nurses. So these people can easily transition from being students into being workers in Barbados, because the demand on the Barbados healthcare sector is significantly more than Barbados can supply. And so that is why you see in the news a lot, Barbados is bringing nurses or doctors from Ghana, from Cuba. I think during the COVID, Cuba and was it Venezuela? I can't remember exactly. But Barbados really benefited from these countries in healthcare. So you expect to see that there will be more people coming to Barbados, especially for medicine, to be doctors, to be nurses. And now with more direct flights from Africa to Barbados, and also with this whole like the general idea, how will I put this? Barbados has been known, I think that's how I want to put it. Barbados has been known generally since before now as a good destination for tourism, for weddings, and so on and so forth. So it's already popular among people in the US, in the UK, in Canada. And now, when people know that Barbados also has great healthcare and it's a good place to learn medicine and nursing, you also see that there will be an increase in the number of people that are coming from the United States and places like that to study. Because an advantage that Barbados has is that Barbados uses a medical system that can prepare you to take exams in the US, in the UK, and Canada, while also being cheaper than medical schools in those countries. So if you study in Barbados, you know enough to work in the Caribbean, you know enough to do whatever you want to do in the Caribbean, but it also prepares you to take tests. Many of the schools here also prepare you to take tests in the US, like the United States Medical Licensing Exam, for example. So if you're somebody who is coming from Asia or from Africa and you want to work in the US, you can actually come to Barbados, learn in Barbados what you would write in the exam in the US, and it will be significantly cheaper than what you would have paid in the US, and you still have access to US hospitals when you graduate, when you take the exam, when you graduate, when you match, right? So that's one of the reasons why I think there's going to be an increase in these people, the students. The third category is workers coming to Barbados. Now, the people that contribute the most to the Barbados economy in this category would be entrepreneurs and investors, especially people who are investing in real estate, right? And recently we've seen that a lot of estates, a lot of hotels are going up in Barbados, and that is huge investment. When these things go up, you have people who would come and patronize these businesses. These businesses are also going to pay tax to the Barbados government, and all of that adds to the general economy. We have roads being built and so on and so forth. So these are the people that I believe are going to contribute the most to the economy. However, you don't just have multi-millionaires coming to like several hundreds and thousands of multi-millionaires moving to Barbados, right? There are going to be few. So the most common people in this worker category are going to be people who are actually like looking for employment, looking for jobs, not necessarily entrepreneurs and investors, right? And the people that are going to benefit the most are people who work in critical areas that lead to the growth and development of the island. These are people that are rare in any country, and so when they come to Barbados, it's very easy for them to get jobs, to work here and stuff. So these are people that have experience or degrees, for example, in cybersecurity, banking and finance, education, in the medical field, in the energy sector. And recently, I've talked about this before on the channel, but recently I'm seeing an increase in number of people that are coming to the island for construction jobs. That's very interesting. So because you have a lot of hotels or roads and estates being built, you have a lot of people, and I see them especially from places like Asia and South America, coming here to work on things like roads and hotels and different buildings, private buildings or stuff like that. So I expect to see that is going to keep increasing. Now, in every category of the people I just mentioned, there will be a percentage of them that after they come to the island, they want to stay here long term. Okay, let me switch back to the video. If you're watching the video, we're currently at Warrens. Actually, we are leaving Warrens now. We are going towards Welch's. But if you rewind the video at about the roundabout, not this roundabout, we just passed the first roundabout. That was when we reached Warrens technically, and that whole area is Warrens. So now we are driving towards Welch's. There is a new plaza at Welch's that I have not documented on this channel. It's called the W Plaza. It has an arcade. It has several gaming machines. It has a cinema. It has, I think there's a small place where you can eat and stuff like that. So W Plaza, fantastic. There are also tech shops there. I have not made any video in that area. I don't know why. I just realized it now. So I'm going to make videos in that area. I'm going to show you that area. Opposite it, like if you cross the roundabout to the other side, you have the walk. The walk is also like a small plaza area that has place to eat and other fine stuff. Also, I think I made only one video there, and that was in the night. So I need to come during the day and make a video, explore that place and everything. So we are currently driving towards Welch's, and that is what you're going to see. When we get to the roundabout, on the left hand side of the roundabout is where you can go to W Plaza, and on the right hand side is where you can go to the walk. Same roundabout. Here's the roundabout coming up right now. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so like I was saying, some people, from the tourists, from the students, from the workers, are going to decide to make Barbados their second home. Because when you come to a place, you're treated nicely, you don't have like dramatic racism. I mean, I always say this thing on this channel, right? In every country, there is going to be that one weird person, that silly person, that person that always likes to give the country a bad name, that is going to be very silly, for lack of a better word. And these people you will find them in every country. But generally speaking, Barbados is not racist. Barbados is not xenophobic. You expect to be treated nicely here. You expect people to have common sense. You expect people not to be violent, not to be rude, not to be criminally motivated all the time, right? So when people come here, they see that and they love it. And a good percentage of them will want to make Barbados their permanent home. And then they start looking for options, alternatives to do that. And this is what I think, these are the group of people I think are going to increase in years to come. Because as Barbados continues to make itself more, how would I put it, continues to position itself as an economic powerhouse, as a place that is always growing economically, as a place that is always innovating and looking for ways to, create more opportunities, people outside Barbados are going to be attracted to that. It's similar to what happened in places like Singapore, Rwanda in Africa, the United States of America, places like that. They weren't always like that. They did certain things that created opportunities in the country, and then everybody started moving to their country to contribute and benefit from that system that they had created. And that is why you have many of these places are now significantly better than they were just 20 to 50 years ago, right? So I think something similar is going to be happening in Barbados. Barbados is going to work to the point where it will create these opportunities, position itself this way, and then you're going to have more people who are choosing to stay here long term. These people, however, can't stay here long term on their existing visa. Like if you come in as a tourist, you can't just sit down here indefinitely. If you come in as a student, you can't just sit here indefinitely. Same thing as a worker, right? Because you came in with worker permit, and that doesn't just allow you to sit here indefinitely forever for however long you want. So many of these people are then going to want to change their visas and their passports and whatever. And during that process, you have opportunities for Bajans and opportunities for even foreigners to see how they can use this to build businesses around it that will accommodate these situations. And I think that is also going to be something that we see as a trend in the hospitality industry. You will have people who will develop businesses to help people transition from maybe being a student to becoming a permanent resident in Barbados, or maybe going from tourism to permanent residencies. You have people who will build businesses around that to help foreigners integrate into the community. I talked about a lot of this in my book, and I'm going to also talk about my book right now. I think I should do a full review of the book. But I wrote this book, Move to Barbados, is basically talking about most of the questions I've been getting on this channel. The book has 16 chapters. It covers everything from all you need to know before you come to the island to the far end, like if you're somebody who is considering becoming a permanent resident or making Barbados your second home. If that is even possible for you, I explore that option, if it's even possible, and how to go about it. So that is the book that I wish that I got if I was moving to Barbados, because when I was coming here, I've told you guys this story. I actually looked for things in Barbados, like, is there anybody that has documented staying in Barbados? What are the things to look out for? What are the things to avoid? And there wasn't a lot of content on that topic. You don't see a lot of content, especially about many Caribbean islands, because the people are generally just easygoing people, right? If you grow up in the Caribbean is basically what you know. And you don't you don't view things from another point of view. So technically, the only person that can tell you what to expect when you come to the Caribbean is somebody who wasn't born here, who moved here. Similar to when people go to the United States and they talk about culture shock. Somebody who was born in the US doesn't have culture shock because for him it's just culture. It's somebody who comes from outside the US and moves to the US, that is the person who is going to be best able to write about culture shock. So because of that, I feel like a lot of people in the Caribbean just were used to life in the Caribbean, and it wasn't anything special that they needed to talk about or document, and I wasn't able to find a lot of material on that. So that is why I'm making these videos. That is why I wrote the book. You can scan the QR code on your screen to get the book, or click the link in the description or the first link in the comment section. I try to make the book as detailed as possible and as affordable as possible so that most of you can get access to it, right? And the reason I wrote it again is because I experienced a couple of things that I've talked about on this channel, and some of them are private things that you will never get out of me no matter what. But I wish I didn't have to go through those experiences. Like when I was scammed for over $6,000. That was just sad. That was a very sad experience, but it's okay. It's okay. So I've written about many of this stuff, scams to look out for, things to avoid, places that you should live. If you're first coming to Barbados, there are some places that you should definitely never rent a house there. It's not for you. You will suffer. You will cry if you go to those places. I wrote about those places. And as you stay here longer, there are places that you would want to move to. Maybe if you're living in the south, you may want to move more centrally. I wrote about all of those things. How to navigate the bus routes, right? The whole bus system. For somebody who was born in Barbados or who has lived in Barbados for a very long time, the bus system is straightforward. But if you're just coming in from even from a different Caribbean island, right? There are some times that maybe if you're coming from St. Lucia or from St. Vincent, the bus system is not the same. Right, it's different, and it's significantly different enough that I've seen people who have moved to Barbados, and for the first 4 months of their stay in Barbados, they just use taxis, whether it's pickup taxi or Uber, or they call a taxi person, with their personal phone number or stuff like that. So the navigation system itself is whatever. And I talk about that. I talk about how to get your IDs, your driver's license, all those stuff. I talk about it extensively. You can look at the book, you can get the book, and then you can send me an email, tell me what you think about the book, places you would like me to, write more details or enhance the content or whatever. And I think in my next... If you're interested, I might make a full review about the book, go through all 16 chapters with you here on the video and tell you what to expect inside it, and so on and so forth. That's if you're interested. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.